Has anyone ever told you the honest truth about depression in older adults? Not the polite version. Not the one wrapped in soft words like just feeling down or getting old. But the kind of truth that creeps in quietly, sits in the silence of an empty room, and sometimes ends a life far too early. You see, depression in later life isn't just about sadness. That it's not just about losing appetite or sleeping poorly or being a little withdrawn. It's also about disconnection, about grief that never got to speak. About a world that moves too fast to notice who's been left behind. But we should notice, not to scare you, not to make you feel broken, but to show you that you're not alone. Because when we understand the truth, really understand it, we gain something powerful: awareness, compassion, and the ability to act. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 painful truths about depression in the elderly that almost no one tells you, but maybe, just maybe, they should have. Because buried in each truth is also something else: hope, healing, and a way forward no matter what age you are. 1. Why elderly depression often goes unnoticed. They say aging comes with wisdom, grace, and acceptance. But what they don't always say, at least not out loud, is that it can also come with unspoken sorrow, and not the kind you cry out loud about, but the kind that settles in your bones, wears your smile thin, and quietly convinces you that maybe you don't matter anymore. Depression in older adults is one of the most underdiagnosed and misunderstood conditions in modern healthcare. Why? Because it wears a disguise. Because it doesn't always look like tears and heartbreak. Sometimes it looks like this: a grandmother who stops planting her roses, a grandfather who turns the TV on but doesn't really watch it. An old friend who no longer picks up the phone even though they used to love to talk. We mistake it for tiredness, for aging, for just having a bad day. But behind those excuses often lies something deeper: a quiet unraveling of the soul. The truth is, depression doesn't always shout. In the elderly, it often whispers. And those whispers are easy to miss by doctors, by caregivers, by family, even by the person feeling it. Why? Because society tells us a dangerous lie: that loneliness is normal in old age, that sadness is expected, that fading into the background is simply part of growing old. But it isn't. No one should fade. No one should be allowed to disappear slowly behind their own silence. And yet, it happens. Every day. Medical professionals may focus on physical symptoms, blood pressure, cholesterol, arthritis, without ever asking, how's your heart feeling today? Not the one that pumps blood, the one that holds memories, loss, love, regret. Even well-meaning families may see changes and think, oh, he's just getting older. Oh, she's just tired these days. But what if tired means she's been crying in the bathroom when no one is looking? What if quiet means he hasn't felt joy in weeks? In younger people, depression can be loud: panic attacks, crying spells, reckless behavior. But in older adults, it becomes still. It becomes a kind of soft surrender. And that's why it's so dangerous. Because if no one sees it, no one helps. And when no one helps, it doesn't just linger. It kills. Research shows that untreated depression in the elderly dramatically increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes complications, and even dementia. Worse, it increases the risk of suicide, especially in older men, where rates are tragically high. But here's the most heartbreaking part: many of these deaths don't look like suicide. They're slow, silent. They look like someone who stopped eating, someone who refused treatment. Someone who just didn't fight anymore. And so we say, he passed peacefully, when in truth, he passed unseen. That is why we must learn to notice, not just the symptoms that medicine can measure, but the shifts in spirit that only love can recognize. Because when we begin to notice, we begin to save lives. Not with pills, not with perfect words, but with presence. With one gentle question: are you okay? and the courage to stay for the answer. 2. How depression affects the body and leads to deathlet. Let's talk about something people rarely connect. How sadness in the here becomes sickness in the body. It might sound poetic, even dramatic, but science and life says otherwise. C. Depression isn't just a feeling. It's a full body experience. It touches everything. Your brain, your immune system, your sleep, your appetite, your bones, even your heartbeat. And in the elderly, this invisible weight becomes heavier. Because their bodies are already walking a tightrope of balance. A little push emotional, mental, spiritual can send the whole system trembling. Let's begin with the brain. In depression, levels of serotonin and dopamine, those gentle messengers of joy and motivation, plummet. This leads to slower thinking, memory fog, and in many cases, cognitive decline. That's why many elderly people with depression are wrongly assumed to be developing dementia, when in fact, it's their heart that's tired, not their mind. Next comes the body. Depression weakens the immune system. The body starts fighting everything and losing. That's why depressed seniors get sick more often. Colds linger. Wounds heal slower. Even chronic illnesses like diabetes, arthritis, or heart disease get worse. Faster. Then there's appetite. Food loses its joy. Cooking becomes a chore. And slowly, the body starves, not just for calories, but for love, for connection, for purpose. Weight loss in the elderly can be deadly. It weakens muscles, raises the risk of falls and fractures, triggers infections, and makes recovery from even the smallest injury feel impossible. Now, let's talk about sleep. You might think, sleep is an escape, but for someone with depression, it becomes a battlefield. Too much, too little, never restful, and sleep deprivation affects balance, memory, blood pressure, and even the rhythm of the heart. It's no wonder then that depression leads to higher rates of death, not just by suicide, but through a slow, subtle shutting down. It's like the body follows the mind's signal. We're giving up. Studies show that depression doubles the risk of heart attack in the elderly. Increases hospital stays. It leads to poor adherence to medication. And in some cases, people simply refuse care because deep inside, they no longer believe it matters. When the will to live goes quiet, the body listens. This is not weakness. This is not just old age. This is an illness, a treatable, recognizable, real illness. And yet, far too many seniors are left untreated. Why? Because they smile. Because they don't want to burden anyone. Because they've been told to be strong all their lives. But strength is not silence. And healing doesn't come from pretending. It comes from listening, from noticing, from saying, I see you, I care, and you're allowed to feel this way. Because when we treat depression, we don't just lift sadness. We protect the heart. We strengthen the body. We give life back its color at any age. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to subscribe and join our community where we celebrate life's later chapters with heart, humor, and hope. 3. The silent triggers of depression in older adults. Depression doesn't arrive out of nowhere. It sneaks in, carried by quiet moments and hidden pains that few see or understand. For many older adults, the triggers are not loud crises, but gentle, persistent losses like leaves falling slowly in autumn, each one unnoticed until the tree feels bare. First, there's loneliness. It's not just the absence of company, but the absence of meaningful connection. The phone rings less often. Friends pass away or move. Family gets busy with their own lives, and the silence grows louder than any conversation ever could. Then comes loss of purpose. Retirement can be a relief, yes, but for many it feels like being put aside. Suddenly, the roles that gave meaning, worker, caregiver, community member, disappear. Without purpose, days can blur into one another, leaving a heavy emptiness. Physical health problems add their own weight. Chronic pain, disability, or illness can trap someone in a body that no longer responds the way it used to. This constant struggle drains energy and joy, feeding the shadows of the mind. Another hidden trigger is grief, not just for lost loved ones, but for lost dreams, lost independence, and lost time. Older adults often carry grief silently, afraid to burden others or to face their own pain. Then, there is stigma in many cultures. Mental health is still taboo, especially among the older generation. Admitting depression can feel like admitting weakness or failure. So instead, they hide it behind smiles, jokes, or silence. Finally, we cannot forget the fear of being a burden. Many seniors hesitate to ask for help because they don't want to trouble family or friends. They believe their struggles are theirs alone to bear, which only deepens the isolation. These silent triggers intertwine and amplify each other, creating a hidden storm inside the heart, one that, if left unaddressed, can consume the light from a life once full of color. But awareness is the first step toward healing. By recognizing these triggers, we can reach out with empathy, offering understanding rather than judgment. We can help seniors find new connections, new purposes, and new reasons to smile, because it's never too late to plant seeds of hope. And with love and care, even the quietest heart can bloom again. 4. Practical ways to combat depression in older adults. Depression in older adults is a heavy burden, but it's one that can be lifted step by step, day by day. What feels like a mountain can be climbed one small hill at a time, and the journey back to joy often begins with simple, practical actions. First and foremost, connection matters deeply. Humans are social creatures, and for seniors, feeling isolated or invisible can feed the shadows of depression. Reaching out to family, friends, or neighbors isn't just about passing the time. It's about reminding ourselves that we belong, that we matter. Even a brief phone call or a shared meal can rekindle warmth and hope. Community centers, clubs, or religious gatherings offer places to meet others who share interests, fostering new friendships that breathe life into daily routines. Next comes movement, a natural antidepressant. You don't have to run marathons or join a gym. Gentle walks around the block, stretching exercises, gardening, or chair yoga can release endorphins, those feel-good chemicals in our brains. Regular physical activity also improves sleep, boosts energy, and strengthens the body, reducing risks of falls and other health issues. It's about moving at your own pace, respecting your body, and letting movement be a source of joy rather than a chore. Then there's purpose, a powerful antidote to despair. Having a reason to get up each morning anchors us in life. This might mean volunteering, learning a new skill, caring for a pet, or pursuing a long-forgotten hobby. These activities help rebuild a sense of identity beyond age or illness, turning days into meaningful chapters rather than empty pages. Don't underestimate the healing power of nature. Spending time outdoors, soaking in sunlight, feeling the breeze, or listening to birdsong can soothe anxious minds and lift spirits. For those with limited mobility, even tending to houseplants or watching a garden from a window can bring calm and pleasure. Seeking professional help is another crucial step. Therapists, counselors, and doctors can offer treatments like talk therapy or medication tailored to individual needs. Mental health professionals provide tools and support, helping seniors navigate the complexities of depression. Asking for help is a sign of strength and self-respect, not weakness. Mindfulness and relaxation techniques also play a vital role. Practices such as meditation, deep breathing exercises, or gentle yoga help calm the restless mind, reduce anxiety, and promote emotional balance. These simple tools can be practiced at home, bringing moments of peace even in difficult times. Finally, nutrition matters. A balanced diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals supports brain health and energy levels. Meals prepared with love and shared with others nourish both body and soul, creating opportunities for connection and care. Recovery from depression is a journey often non-linear and personal. Each small step forward is a victory. Each moment of connection, movement, and purpose a building block toward a brighter life. If you or someone you love is struggling with depression, remember, you are not alone. Help is available. Hope is real, and the future holds the promise of better days. 5. The role of family and community in supporting depressed seniors. Depression in older adults isn't just a personal battle. It's a shared challenge for families and communities alike. When loved ones struggle, the warmth and strength of those around them can make all the difference. Families often feel helpless, unsure how to offer support without overstepping boundaries. The key is to truly listen, with patience and without judgment. Sometimes, the greatest gift is simply being there, offering presence rather than advice. A gentle touch, a kind word, or a quiet moment of companionship can remind seniors they are valued and not forgotten. Encouraging open conversations of feelings and fears breaks down the stigma surrounding mental health. It helps seniors understand they're not alone and that seeking help is brave and normal. Communities can also play a vital role. Neighborhood groups, senior centers, religious organizations, and volunteer networks create safe spaces for connection and engagement. They offer opportunities to build friendships, learn new skills, and contribute meaningfully. Simple acts like organizing social events, arranging transportation for appointments, or checking in regularly show care in action. Education matters too. Families and communities informed about depression signs and impacts are better equipped to respond compassionately and promptly. Importantly, support should empower independence rather than foster dependence, helping seniors maintain autonomy, make choices, and pursue passions reinforces their sense of dignity and self-worth. Ultimately, combating depression in later life requires a circle of care. It's a shared responsibility where empathy, respect, and love are the strongest medicines. By standing together, we can turn isolation into inclusion, despair into hope, and silence into voices that are heard and cherished. Because every older adult deserves to feel seen, supported, and celebrated, not just for what they once were, but for who they are today. Conclusion: finding light beyond depression in older age. Depression in older adults is a quiet storm, often hidden, misunderstood, and underestimated. It is shaped by loneliness, loss, stigma, and silent struggles that weigh heavily on the heart and mind. But knowing the truth is the first step toward healing. Understanding the triggers helps us see beyond the surface, offering empathy instead of judgment. We've explored how connection, movement, purpose, nature, professional help, mindfulness, and nutrition each play a vital role in lifting the heavy veil of depression. Small, gentle steps can lead to significant changes, restoring hope and joy in everyday life. Family and community support create the vital circle of care, where empathy and presence become lifelines. Listening without judgment, encouraging open dialogue, and fostering independence empower seniors to reclaim their dignity and happiness. Remember, depression is not a life sentence. It is a challenge to face, a battle that can be won with kindness, patience, and support. If you or someone you love is struggling, reach out, seek help, embrace connection, and never underestimate the power of small moments. Because in every heart lies the strength to heal, the courage to hope, and the light to shine again. You are not alone, and better days are ahead. Thank you so much for spending your time. We hope this video has offered you not only insight, but also comfort, clarity, and perhaps even a little spark of hope. If you found this helpful, please don't forget to leave a comment, and share it with someone who might need it too. And of course, subscribe to our channel so you won't miss more thoughtful and heartwarming videos like this one. Together, we can build a kinder, more caring world for our elders, one conversation at a time. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.